Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us here on KREM 2 News at 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. I'm Whitney Ward. Mark is off tonight. Let's get started. New tonight, the Kootenai County Assessor is answering some uncomfortable questions after he admitted to secretly recording his employees and elected officials. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk is looking into the legal questions now being raised. Kyle?
Well, county commissioners say they are upset and disappointed. They asked County Assessor Bela Kovacs how many people he secretly recorded, and he couldn't give them an answer. However, he did try to explain why he's doing this. During an awkward meeting of the Kootenai County Commissioners,
I'm disappointed. I certainly expected more from you.
Assessor Bela Kovacs found himself in the hot seat.
My question is, do I have an attorney representing me? And I'm okay with long pauses of awkward silence until I get a satisfactory answer.
Well, what makes you think you need an attorney to answer for your own behavior as a public official?
Kovacs told commissioners he has secretly recorded elected officials and other Kootenai County employees.
How many do you have?
I don't have a number. I don't know.
It's more than you can count right now.
I have not counted it. It's not more than I can count.
Many.
Kootenai County Treasurer Steve Matheson says he learned about the secret audio tapes when he emailed Kovacs, asking if he ever recorded their conversations.
Bela has disclosed and forwarded to me 15 conversations. It's apparent from these recordings that I am not the only one he has been targeting.
Former county employee Aubrey Hollenbach asked Kovacs point blank,
"Did you record me?"
I believe I may have.
In Idaho, it's legal to secretly record someone as long as one person in the conversation is aware. But county officials believe these recordings could be subject to public disclosure. Kovacs says he also recorded one executive session, a closed meeting where commissioners can freely discuss sensitive issues like litigation and employee matters.
He's creating a public record when there is not meant to be one, and he actually enhances the liability to this county significantly in many cases. And I find that to be extraordinarily troubling from an elected official.
Kovacs says he planned to use the recordings as notes.
Typically in those situations, you tell people, I'm going to record this for my own notes.
He offered another explanation.
Other elected officials have given me cause for concern as to whether or not the conduct and the actions have all been narrowly legal.
According to our news partners, the Coeur d'Alene Press, Kovacs resigned from his Spokane County job in 2018 rather than be fired following an investigation into his behavior. The press reports multiple Spokane County staff described Kovacs as paranoid, saying he forbade some employees from speaking to one another without him present and even threatened to have office doors removed to prevent staff from having private conversations.
Do you plan on continuing to record your employees?
I will definitely, if I record, I will speak about it beforehand.
And Kovacs did not respond to our request for comment. The Kootenai County prosecutor is asking him to preserve those recordings and the devices he used. He told commissioners his office is looking into the issue. Whitney.
All right, Kyle, thank you very much. Now to Nightbeat with a quick look at the day's top stories. Efforts to clean up the Spokane River will continue after a mysterious sheen appeared on the water near Upriver Dam. The Department of Ecology says it is unclear where it came from or even what the substance is yet. Right now, officials are still waiting to get test results back, which could take another week. They told KREM 2 it had no odor and was too light to be recoverable, so they'll need to find a different way to try and get it out of the water. They say there is no impact to wildlife right now, but also there is no estimate on how long it could take for cleanup. All right, take a look at these photos out of Grant County. Late last night, 2 deputies with the sheriff's office were helping the Washington State Patrol respond to a deadly crash when they collided with each other. The crash then shut down State Route 17 for more than 2 hours. Both deputies had non-life-threatening injuries. Only one had to be taken to the hospital, but exactly what happened and how is still under investigation. A $1 million winning lottery ticket was sold in Benoit County this week. The Idaho Lottery did not provide any additional details about when or where the ticket was sold, but someone who lives in or passed through the county may be a winner. Another winning ticket was also sold in Valley County. The winners have 180 days now to redeem their prize. So far, though, neither one has been claimed yet. That was your Nightbeat. If you'd like to learn more about any of these stories, remember you can always go to our website, krem.com. And turning now to weather, we are just days away from 2024. I think everyone kind of wants to know the type of weather we can expect for New Year's Eve. So meteorologist Michelle Boss is joining us now with details on the forecast.
Yeah, things have been pretty quiet this week, certainly warmer than average, and we're looking for a continuation of that pattern. Maybe not quite as warm as we saw today. We were in the mid 40s, more than 10 degrees above average. But we have partly to mostly cloudy skies across the region. A little bit of wet weather on the west side of the state, but really not a whole lot going on in eastern Washington and North Idaho. And take a look at these temperatures. At 10 o'clock, we are well above freezing, 38 in Spokane. It is still 40 in Deer Park. Keep in mind, our average high this time of year is only 33 degrees. So pretty mild temperatures out there right now. Short-term forecast keeps it dry overnight. And we're looking at mostly cloudy skies for tomorrow and Sunday. Just a slight chance of some light rain, so a few sprinkles here and there. Otherwise, pretty quiet weather and looking at pretty much the same conditions as we ring in 2024.
All right, Michelle, thank you. Southern California certainly gearing up for some major surf. Today, crews were working to build berms along the coastline to block high waves and coastal flooding that is expected in the coming days. In other parts of the state, those big swells have already started. This is video from Ventura. At least 8 people were taken to the hospital with injuries after 15-foot waves slammed into retaining walls and flooded seaside hotels. Waves of up to 20 feet are expected through New Year's Day. Topping national headlines tonight, Donald Trump's former personal lawyer says he unknowingly passed along bogus legal cases to try and end his court supervision early. According to the AP, Michael Cohen used artificial intelligence to create those fake cases. Cohen pleaded guilty to tax evasion back in 2018, and he spent a year in prison, but has been under supervision since his release. He told a judge he didn't know the cases were not real and that he'd found them on Google. The judge determined it to be an honest mistake and said this is actually the second time this year that a lawyer was confronted for using citations created by AI. A police officer responding to a robbery in Oakland, California was shot and killed early this morning. He was identified just a few hours ago as 36-year-old Tuan Lee. Lee was one of several officers called to that robbery report. It was around 4 o'clock in the morning. As the suspects ran away, one started firing and hit Lee inside a car nearby. He was rushed to the hospital but died from his injuries. In a statement, the department said he will be remembered for his kindness and the positive change he brought to the lives of those around him. In other national news, a Kentucky man faces more than 30 different charges, including rape, after a missing girl was found underneath a trap door under his living room. Police say the 16-year-old was reported missing by her grandparents in early December. The suspect says he met the girl online, but claims he didn't know she was only 16. Police found her under a trap door on Christmas Day after the man admitted to drugging her. According to police, he claims the girl ran away from home and that he was trying to help her. Caught on camera, police chasing a suspect in California pulled off what is really a perfect pit maneuver. That forced the driver to come to a complete stop, and you can see it right here. The truck was going more than 80 miles an hour, running stop signs and driving down the wrong side of the road, when the deputy behind him forced the truck into that 180-degree spin, letting other patrol cars then box the driver in. Police in Eugene, Oregon are investigating tonight after the local weekly paper there abruptly stopped printing and laid off its entire staff. That's after discovering it was the victim of embezzlement. The paper did not share the identity of the alleged embezzler, only saying, quote, "It was done by somebody we trusted." The weekly says the years-long scheme was discovered just days before Christmas after finding out vendors had gone unpaid for months. Now the paper says it is deeply in the red, owing more than $100,000 in back payments. Staff, though, are vowing to keep the paper going. Well, that was KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you do get more news in less time, but